Dagger Directive, come in.
Broskis, super freaking welcome to yet another video where I talk about the best mother-flipping first-person shooters. Yeah. Today we're talking about Dagger Directive, which is a brand new hardcore tactical retro first-person shooter that brings that nostalgic feel of the good old Delta Force days. It's not a one-to-one recreation, which would be weird if it was. It is its own game, but it does give that vibe of nostalgia. Now the guy who will be talking today is your very own Papa Slim from Sweden, the guy who loves to hunt down indie freaking gems and show them to you to give you the best value for your time here on this place called YouTube. And Dagger Directive, my friends, it drops on the 3rd of June and it's being published by Microprose and developed by Arcane Alpacas. Arcane Alpacas, I have no idea who the hell they are, but Microprose, yeah, bring it. Bring it. It will drop into early access, but it does feature a whole lot of things already in the first version of early access. It will of course feature even more things once it's 1.0, but as is now, it's early access. So let's talk a little bit about that. So in Dagger Directive, my broskis, we are a member of Task Force Dagger, which is an elite international special forces unit. And our missions, it will take us across the globe through frozen coasts, dense jungles and war-torn cities. And one objective can take us through different missions, a multitude of missions, like hunting down a nuclear warhead and so on and so forth. And it's actually done fairly well. I was kinda semi-engaged in this story, even though it is only presented through the briefing screen where you pick your loadout and so on before you head into mission. And then of course via in-game communication as we clear objectives and so on and so forth, our base is telling us, hey, move there instead, do that instead. Yeah, but I mean, it's fairly done. It's nothing groundbreaking, it's not something that is gonna make you think about it when you sleep, but it's done fairly well. I was kinda engaged in the story. I kinda wanted to find whatever it is I was looking for. I kinda wanted to kill that militia that was trying to blow up the freaking globe. Now the levels in this hardcore tactical retro first-person shooter are very big open areas with interest points. Most of the time it is go to that interest point, clear it, check if anything is there that you might be looking for. If not, move to the next and then exfil. The levels, they're fairly simple. They look very good, but they are fairly simple. They're quite dense when it comes to vegetation and houses and so on and so forth, but the houses, they're most of the time completely empty. They have no decoration in them. If you're lucky, you might find a table, but the windows, they don't even have glass. That's how simple they are. But the levels, they do what they set out to do. They bring a tactical combat scenario right in your face. They are not meant for exploring, looking for secrets and so on and so forth, even though there are weapon caches and stuff that you can find, but they're not built for you to explore. They're built for you to survive and kill what is in front of you. And they manage to do that. However, they are a tiny bit too big. There is so much walking in this game. Walking from one interest point to another can literally take you minutes upon minutes. And then if you die while walking, because sometimes you come across enemies on the road, you gotta walk that road again. It happened multiple times. But you can save whenever you want to in this game, so don't forget that you can do that, because I totally forgot that I could do that, which is not something that we often see in hardcore tactical games like this, so it's a very nice addition if you ask me. Now, the game is actually kinda advanced. It isn't as simple as it looks, thanks to the retro graphics. It's actually quite deep. It is a game with 25 different weapons that almost all of them have attachments. You got grenades, you got rocket launchers, you got underbarrels for your weapons, you have drones, etc, etc. And each and every bullet from your gun and your enemies are individually calculated with drop-offs. It even bounces on certain surfaces if the projectile has slowed down enough to not explode when it hits whatever it might hit. You have your standard leaning, which you need for tactical shooters. You got prone stance, you got crouch, and if you're prone and you have a weapon that has this bipolar stand or whatever it's called, it will make the weapon a lot more stable. You have sights for almost all weapons, and if you pick a sniper sight, you can zoom in, you can zoom out, and you can even adjust. So if you know that your target is 500 meters away from you, then you can adjust the sight so that if you aim it, it will hit it even if it is 500 meters away from you. Get it? Because you have drop-off on your bullets, so you can adjust the aim so that you actually hit your target. That's a really cool feature. And the game also has some small segments with vehicles, like riding a helicopter with a minigun on it, blowing up cars and stuff. Very Delta Force-ish. Very nice. Very, very nice. However, in those sections, you kind of notice that the game isn't super optimized. It does need a bit more optimization, because I'm running it on a very powerful rig, and I was actually having frame drops in those segments. I should not have had frame drops in those segments. Now I touched a bit on the weapons here during the mechanics, and as I said, you have 25 weapons, and before you enter any of the missions, you can customize it however you want. There is nothing to unlock. Everything is unlocked from the very get-go. All the weapons are in your base. You just pick and choose whatever it is that you want to pick and choose. And if you're playing the mission for the first time, you can even hit the recommended loadout, and the game will give you the loadout that it recommends for this mission, which is a really nice feature, because I hate to have too much option. I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna choose. So I, most of the time, went with the recommended loadout. And then after you play the mission, like, it would be kind of fun if I picked a rocket launcher and brought with me to this mission. You can do that whenever you want to. You can even pick the time of day. You can go in the morning, you can go in the night, you can go in the middle of the day, you can go at lunchtime. Or if in the future we sometime visit Sweden, you should go at 3 o'clock when there is fika. Yeah, you should interrupt that fika, because even the military stops when it's fika. So you will have an advantage if you go in at 3 o'clock. And the enemies of the game, yeah, of course, they're your standard human militia, military. Sometimes they act just as they're supposed to. They see you, they call you out, he's by the tree, or he's by the house, or he's behind the fence, or wherever the hell you might be. They tell their friends, and their friends eventually see you. Or if they have seen you by a rock, they will shoot where they last saw you for some time to come, and you can sneak behind, like throw a smoke grenade or something so they can't see you. They will still think that you're there, and you can sneak behind, and you can see how they're just shooting at that location even though you were all the way back there. Yeah. But I said sometimes they are smart. When they work super well. Feels like the developers really thought about everything and made it super balanced and fun and engaging when it works. But they do need a little bit more polish, because at a few occasions, I know there is other reviews out there telling that the game is really bugged. It's nowhere close as bugged as people are claiming. Also, the game just got updated, so I don't know if that has anything to do with it. But just on very few occasions, I noticed that the enemies weren't reacting to me. When I say a few occasions, I'm talking I might have killed like 400 or 500 enemies, and maybe 5. 5 were not acting as they should, which is far from a deal breaker to me. It just gives me some moment to breathe, which I honestly don't mind. Now, graphics-wise, the game looks beautiful. It really mixes the retro pixely look and low poly look with some modern lighting, some superb audio effects. The weapons, they sound amazing, apart from when you have the silencer on, because that sounds way too puny. That can be amped up a bit. But the grenades, the explosions, when you fire without a silencer on, it sounds really good. And when the enemies are firing, it sounds super. But there is no music in the game, which kind of fits a hardcore tactical retro first-person shooter. If you had music, it would be really hard to hear your enemies, and you need to hear every single little detail if you're gonna make it out alive. So it kind of makes sense. The only thing I would want to change with the presentation here is that optimize it a little bit better, and then add in just a little bit of weapon sway. As you're walking, you're holding your weapon still. It is 100% still. It's not moving a millimeter. Same when you look around. It is so stale. Just add in a little bit of visual sway. It doesn't have to affect the aim or anything like that. Just add in a little bit of visual sway to make it more engaging and look more realistic. You even have sway on your freaking arm. Your arm goes like, I can't even do it in real life, but the arm goes like that. The hand is just completely still, but the arm sways around. What? Make the weapon sway as well. Overall though, it is a really good tactical shooter. I really enjoyed my time with this. And that said, I'm not usually a tactical hardcore enjoyer like this, so they nailed it. They nailed it. Am I living a bit off that Delta Force nostalgia? Yeah, sure, I am. And this game brings it forth, so I enjoyed it, simple as that. It did also have some fun, engaging combat, some interesting missions, but does it have too much freedom? I don't know. Parts of me really enjoyed that all the weapons, attachments, everything was unlocked from the very get-go, but a part of me also wished that I unlocked something as I finished missions. Getting absolutely zero progression from finishing missions apart from continuation in the story, I don't know. It just felt like something was lacking. But at the same time, I already had it all, and there is so many different combinations that you can go with that it's almost never ending. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts on everything being unlocked down in the comments. I want to hear it out. And then the last thing, I did not have the option to test out co-op. Since the game is not out yet, none of my friends have it, so I cannot comment on the co-op. But what I do know is that I think that you're bloody awesome for watching all the way to the end, and if you want more first-person shooter content, remember to hit that like and subscribe, and while you're at it, join the Discord. It's a ton of fun in there, you don't want to miss out on it, and I will see you in the next one. Over and out, soldier.